Iran has released footage it says shows its forces firing on United States Navy destroyers near the Strait of Hormuz, not small arms, not flares. According to the IRGC, the footage shows missiles, rockets, and drones fired during a confrontation with U.S. destroyers, a claim the United States denies. The footage has been circulating across Iranian state media and has not been independently verified by Reuters or AP. The United States has flatly denied that any attack took place. But the video exists, Tehran is broadcasting it, and it appears to show projectiles streaking across the horizon over open water. Whether those projectiles came anywhere near an American vessel is the question at the center of yet another information confrontation at Hormuz. But what Iran claims happened before the footage was recorded is where the story gets more serious.
As a failure of the United States government to fulfill its commitment in the negotiations, the Islamic Republic of Iran declares the Strait of Hormuz completely closed again. No vessel of any type or nationality is allowed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Any vessel intending to exit the Strait of Hormuz that cross the red line between CENTCOM Island and Minab port, and any vessel intending to enter the Strait of Hormuz that cross the red line between Khor Mubarak and Fujairah port will be met with a severe response from the IRGC Navy and will be destroyed. This is Sepah Navy, out.
According to Iran's military, the confrontation began when U.S. destroyers moved toward the strait through the Sea of Oman. Iran claims the vessels attempted what it described as a stealth approach, switching off their radar systems as they advanced toward waters Tehran says fall under its security control. Tehran says its forces were watching the entire time. Iranian naval forces say that once the systems came back online, they moved from tracking to a direct warning posture. Radio warnings were issued, clear, direct, and repeated. Stay away. Do not enter. Do not test the ceasefire. Iran says those warnings were ignored, and that is when, according to Tehran's account, the situation escalated from tracking to what it says was firing. Whether the U.S. destroyers actually switched off their radars, whether they received the warnings, and whether any weapons were fired in their direction are all claims that rest entirely on Iranian state sources. CENTCOM has not confirmed any element of that sequence. Across the water, Washington tells a completely different story. U.S. officials have denied that any attack, warning shot, or confrontation took place. CENTCOM posted on X that no U.S. Navy vessel had been attacked and confirmed that American forces were actively supporting Project Freedom, the operation launched by President Trump to escort stranded commercial ships through the waterway. This is not the first time Iran has made dramatic claims about confrontations with U.S. naval assets that Washington then denied. The pattern is now familiar. Iran releases footage or statements describing a confrontation. The United States denies it entirely. And the truth appears to settle into the space between the two accounts, where neither side has publicly produced proof the other accepts. Something happened near the Strait of Hormuz on Monday, or nothing happened. It depends on which side you ask. Iranian state-linked media, led by Fars news agency, claimed that missiles struck a U.S. Navy vessel near the port of Jask after the ship allegedly ignored warnings from the naval wing of the IRGC. According to Fars, 2 missiles hit the vessel and forced it to break course and retreat, an account CENTCOM flatly denies. Iranian outlets framed it as enforcement, not escalation, saying it was a response to unauthorized American naval movement through waters Tehran considers under its security control. Within hours, the United States dismissed the entire account. No strike, no damage, no retreat. U.S. Central Command posted on X that no American vessel had been attacked. But in a waterway where a single rumor can move oil prices and rearrange military postures, the question of what actually happened near Jask is almost secondary to the question of why the claim was made at all. The Iranian claim landed on the same day the United States announced a major new operation in the strait. CENTCOM confirmed the launch of Project Freedom, a mission directed by President Trump to escort stranded commercial ships through Hormuz. The operation includes guided missile destroyers, more than 100 aircraft across land and sea, unmanned systems, and approximately 15,000 service members. CENTCOM presented the operation as essential to restoring freedom of navigation and protecting the global economy through one of the world's most critical energy choke points. Iran's response was immediate. Tehran described the American intervention as a ceasefire violation, and the IRGC Navy released a new map outlining what it described as its operational zone across parts of the strait between Iranian territory and the UAE. The two sides are now running rival naval missions in the same corridor, each signaling that it intends to shape who gets through and on what terms. The information war is unfolding alongside real incidents at sea. The UK Maritime Trade Operations reported that a tanker was struck by unknown projectiles approximately 78 nautical miles north of Fujairah in the UAE. All crew were confirmed safe. Separately, maritime security channels reported another confrontation involving a northbound vessel near Iran's southern coast, though the details have not been independently confirmed at the same level as the Fujairah incident. At least one of these was a verified maritime incident report from UK MTO, which is exactly why the strait cannot be dismissed as a war of words alone. The confrontation is not just rhetorical, it is physical. While both sides argue over control of the waterway, one vessel appears to have rendered the debate temporarily irrelevant. According to tankertrackers.com, an Iranian supertanker named Huge slipped past US monitoring and reached Asian waters with more than 1.9 million barrels of crude, a claim Reuters and AP have not independently confirmed. Tanker Trackers says the vessel vanished from routine tracking, resurfaced near Sri Lanka, and later appeared to be moving through Indonesia's Lombok Strait. Washington says the blockade is working and has forced at least 41 Iran-linked ships to turn back. Tehran says at least 52 vessels have breached it, though Reuters and AP have not confirmed that figure. If the Huge account holds, it would suggest the reality sits somewhere between Washington's success claims and Tehran's defiance narrative. The information war at sea is now being matched by a legislative effort on land. Secondary reports say Iranian lawmakers are drafting legislation to permanently bar Israeli-linked vessels from the strait, but that claim has not been independently confirmed by Reuters or AP. Those same secondary reports say ships from hostile states could face severe restrictions, and that other vessels might need prior permission, though the details remain unverified. The US Treasury responded with a formal alert warning that paying Iran for safe passage could expose shipping firms to sanctions. Iranian officials, meanwhile, claim tolls are already being collected from some vessels, though no evidence has been produced, and Reuters and AP have not confirmed it. If such legislation ever passes, Tehran would be trying to turn Hormuz from a contested waterway into one it regulates on its own terms. And then came the signal from Beijing. China's permanent representative to the UN said that if the Strait of Hormuz is still in crisis by the time Trump arrives in China for a summit with President Xi on May 14th and 15th, it will be at the top of the agenda. As the world's largest crude importer and a major buyer of Iranian oil, China sees restoring navigation as an urgent national interest. Fu Kong called for synchronized de-escalation, with Iran easing its restrictions and the United States ending its blockade at the same time. He expressed alarm over rhetoric suggesting the ceasefire is merely temporary and denied any military collaboration between China and Iran. The Hormuz crisis is no longer just a Tehran-Washington standoff. Beijing has made clear that if the strait is still in crisis, it will dominate the summit agenda. Subscribe to WLA for daily geopolitical analysis.